Hi, Maria.
Hi. Um, where are we from?
Okay, where are you from? All right. So I'm from America. I was born in Boston, Massachusetts, and I grew up in Brookline, Massachusetts. Okay, so yeah.
Is there a family legend or story that has been passed down over the generations?
The only thing I can think of is there was a little bit on my father's side. So my father was born in the United States, but his parents came over from Russia, or rather on the Russian, probably around the Russian, Ukrainian, or former Ukraine area, part of Russia.
Oh, I thought
And
that was Poland.
well, it was. The land went back and forth from Russia to Poland. So it was in that general area where they came from.
Oh,
And then kind of the story is Harry came over first. He worked in the shoe industry in Chelsea. And then and then Baba and and her son. Oh, she had let's see, one son died in a was very young, but she and Leo came had to come like I think it was almost 20 years later.
oh,
And no, it was not 20 years later. It was no, it was 16 years. Yeah, Leo had been born, and then he left right after Leo was born. So they came over 16 years later. The reason was because of the war; they couldn't come over, and then and then Baba had to take care of her elderly parents until they passed, and then they were able to come over. So, but anyway, it was just a very interesting story about them. It was a very long journey for them. They came over on a ship, and of course, that's how people did it then. And then they joined Harry and Chelsea, and then they set up to achieve the American dream. The story went that they got a little grocery store going, and they ran a grocery store very successfully to for the family, and then also they had some more children, and then my grandmother, all of her boys became doctors. That was the family's success story. So
oh.
anyway,
What relative impacted you the most? And in what way they change the path of your life?
um, the one relative that I was very close to growing up was my uncle David. I had great respect for him.
Oh,
I mean, he came from very poor beginnings. He did okay for himself. He was just a very nice person, and I enjoyed going there to his house quite frequently because they didn't they we lived in Brookline. They lived in Newton, so they weren't too far away. So I remember going over there many times, and he was very kind, and he gave me a lot of inspiration for later on in life. So okay,
what? There's 2 minutes
yes, sir.
left.
Okay, yeah.
What was your childhood like?
It was okay. I just remember, my parents were kind. They did take very good care of us. They pushed us on certain things. I remember I had to take piano lessons, and I just didn't like the piano, but I did it for a little period of time, and then finally, thank goodness, okay, I was able to give it up.
Oh,
And that's the one thing I remember getting pushed on, and then, but I had a lot of freedom as a kid. My parents, I was able to go out with my friends and roam around Brookline and even go into Boston ourselves, even at a very young age. And I really enjoyed that. So,
was what was the Great Depression before or after?
well, that was
During?
no, that was the Great. This was long before my time. My father grew up in the Great Depression,
Oh, you didn't.
but I didn't. Although my family, the family excelled despite the depression. Everybody did all right there. So anyway, okay.
Um, who who was your what? Who was your best childhood pet?
Childhood, what again? Yeah.
Animal of companion?
Oh, I know. What did we have? We had some cats when I was growing up. That's the only pets I can think of. We had cats. We very, very briefly we had a guinea pig. So that's about all I can remember.
And the chicken?
Yeah, there was a chicken. Again, that was very, very brief. We had these chickens, and then we quickly got rid of them. I forget the exact chicken story.
Oh,
So
okay.
you've heard that from my.
The interview has ended.
Okay, all right.